You're doing everything you can to succeed, right? You have goals, a plan, and you're working hard. But what if there's something hidden, something so subtle you don't even notice, that's quietly holding you back? A mistake that's so common, most people don't even realize they're making it. And yet this one mistake could be the very reason you're not reaching your full potential. What is it? Stick around, because once you realize it, everything will change. Let's think about your typical day. You wake up with a clear list of things you need to do. You've got that big, important project sitting at the top of the list, something that could really move you forward. But instead of tackling it head-on, you start with the smaller, easier stuff. You tidy up the house, reply to emails, maybe even scroll through social media a bit to get in the zone. Before you know it, the day's half over, and you still haven't touched that important task. Sound familiar? It's not just you. Almost all of us fall into this trap. We convince ourselves that we're being productive, that we're warming up for the big stuff. But here's the truth. We're avoiding the real work. It's sneaky, it's subtle, and it feels justified. But in reality, it's self-sabotage in disguise. This might not feel like a huge deal on any given day, but think about what happens when this becomes a habit. Days turn into weeks, weeks into months, and before you know it, you've made little to no progress on the things that actually matter to your long-term goals. That's how this silent mistake creeps in, by slowly eating away at your potential without you even realizing it. So what is this silent mistake? It's self-sabotage. More specifically, it's the subtle ways we undermine ourselves without even noticing. You might not think of yourself as someone who self-sabotages. After all, you're motivated, you've got goals, and you're trying to make things happen. But self-sabotage doesn't always look like laziness or carelessness. Sometimes, it's as simple as not taking action when you know you should. One of the most common forms of self-sabotage is procrastination. It doesn't always show up as sitting on the couch doing nothing. Sometimes procrastination looks like doing busy work to avoid the real tasks. Things that feel productive, like organizing your desk or catching up on emails, but don't actually move the needle on your biggest goals. And it doesn't stop at procrastination. Perfectionism is another major culprit. You want everything to be just right before you get started. You convince yourself that you're not quite ready yet, that you need more time, more information, more preparation. But the truth is, you're using perfectionism as an excuse. It's a way to delay taking action because deep down, you're afraid of failing, afraid of criticism, or maybe even afraid of success. Self-sabotage also takes the form of avoidance, avoiding difficult conversations, avoiding big risks, or avoiding decisions that could potentially change your life. You stay in your comfort zone, telling yourself that it's safer there, but all the while, your potential is shrinking because you're not challenging yourself to grow. Now, let's talk about the cost of this silent mistake. It's bigger than you might think. Every time you procrastinate, avoid, or delay the hard stuff, you're letting go of opportunities that could push you forward. You're giving away your potential bit by bit without even realizing it. Here's how it works. When you put off the big tasks, you're essentially telling yourself that you can't handle them. It's not just about the task itself. It's about what you're teaching your mind. You're reinforcing the belief that you're not ready, that you're not capable, that you're not good enough. And over time, this belief becomes a part of your identity. Think about the long-term effects. If you consistently avoid challenges, you start to play it safe in other areas of your life. You stop taking risks. You stop pushing yourself to grow. You settle for less because you've convinced yourself that you're not capable of more. This doesn't just affect your career or personal goals. It seeps into your relationships, your health, your overall well-being. You start to feel stuck, like you're spinning your wheels but getting nowhere. And that feeling of being stuck leads to more self-doubt, more hesitation, and more self-sabotage. It's a vicious cycle. And here's the scariest part. You might not even realize it's happening, because on the surface, you're doing things. You're busy, you're checking off tasks, you're putting in effort. But deep down, you know you're not moving in the direction you really want to go. That's the silent mistake at work. Actionable solution: fixing the mistake. So, how do you fix it? The good news is it's simpler than you might think, but it does require awareness and a commitment to changing your habits. Step 1. Do the hardest thing first. Every day, start with the task that's going to make the biggest impact. It might be the most uncomfortable, it might be the thing you've been avoiding, but it's also the thing that will move you forward the most. This strategy is sometimes called eating the frog. By tackling the toughest task first, you free up mental space and build momentum for the rest of your day. Step 2. Challenge your inner critic. That little voice in your head that says, "I'm not ready," or "I need more time," is often just fear in disguise. When you catch yourself thinking this way, challenge it. Ask yourself, what's the worst that could happen? More often than not, the fear is exaggerated. By facing it head-on, you take away its power. Step 3. Set realistic, achievable goals. One of the biggest reasons people self-sabotage is because they set goals that are too big, too vague, or too overwhelming. Break your goals down into smaller bite-sized tasks that feel manageable. This not only helps you build confidence, but also creates a sense of progress that keeps you motivated. Step 4. Practice mindfulness. Self-sabotage thrives in the unconscious mind. When you're not paying attention, it's easy to slip into old habits and patterns. That's why practicing mindfulness, being aware of your thoughts, feelings, and actions, is so important. When you notice yourself procrastinating or avoiding something, take a moment to pause and ask yourself why. Bringing awareness to the behavior is the first step toward changing it. Step 5. Get comfortable with discomfort. Growth doesn't happen inside your comfort zone. If you want to reach your full potential, you have to get used to being uncomfortable. Whether it's a challenging project, a difficult conversation, or a new opportunity, the things that scare you are often the things that will help you grow the most. Lean into the discomfort and remember that it's a sign you're moving in the right direction. So, what's the silent mistake that's been holding you back? It's self-sabotage. Those small, subtle habits like procrastination, perfectionism, and avoidance. They seem harmless at first, but gradually erode your potential. The truth is, this mistake can keep you stuck for years without you even realizing it. But here's the good news. You can change it, starting now. Begin by doing the hardest, most important task first. It may feel uncomfortable, but discomfort is where growth happens. Challenge that inner voice telling you to wait for the perfect time. You're ready now. Set small, achievable goals to build momentum and pay attention to when you're slipping back into old habits. Acknowledge those patterns and take control. Your potential is right there, waiting for you to unlock it. All it takes is action, and you're in charge of making that happen. If this hit home for you, leave a comment and share your thoughts. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon to stay updated. Let's work together to break free from self-sabotage and tap into your true potential.